Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. It's Martin Tuson from Rock Bmx Ministry here in Northern Ireland. Just wanted to come on here and just share a bit about future plans and things we're doing. And again, Rock Bmx Ministry, as some of you may know, is a ministry where I share my Christian faith through BMX freestyle, old school freestyle tricks. And at the very start, I'd just like to thank Gavin Dowd for putting this together. If you just bear with me, I'm just sharing with my on my different groups. Okay, yes, thanks Gavin Dowd. Thank you, Gavin Dowd, Word Out Media. A little bit of history. Gavin and I know each other for quite a time, some time now. I used to be involved with prison ministry, and Gavin used to be work with Revelation Television, and he used to have do his own Christian media. He would do documentaries on God TV, and basically we got together through a friend, and I was telling Gavin about my involvement in prison ministry, and we just got together and really come up with an idea to do a video, and we were blessed to go into Magabry prison and be able to film behind prison walls. It turned out to be a very, very powerful documentary, which actually won an award at the Christian Broadcasting Council. It won the Heart Award for Best British. It won the Best British Christian Documentary, and been used very, very powerfully. You'll be able to see it on YouTube if you put in Behind Prison Walls, and on YouTube the video's there. So basically, what I do now is the last 6-7 years I've been involved with Rock Bmx Ministry, and really the ministry came about through basically seeing something on the television, a guy who was similar to my age, and he basically went into accident and emergency, and the program had him going into the A&E with a punctured lung, and he actually had fallen off his BMX. And the guy was the same age as me, about 47 years of age. And I remember watching it, and I looked at my wife and I thought, this guy's crazy, you know, a man of his age riding a BMX. And no interest at all in starting to get back into BMX or riding a bike again. And then things changed for me when I believe God just, it was a light bulb moment went off in my head where it turned out he was over 40s British racing champion. And when I found out he was over 40s British racing champion, I just thought to myself, just all of a sudden I felt, can I get back on a BMX? I believe God had just put it in my heart again, and I just went on the Gumtree, got a cheap BMX, I went out, and obviously my first time on the bike wasn't very successful. Hurt myself quite badly, and I ripped the calluses in my hands. But I kept going out because God had a plan and a purpose for me, to be back on the bike again. And it just really gradually went on. It wasn't a ministry until about 5 or 6 months later, when a group of young boys stopped me, and one young guy said to me, "Martin, you not think you're a bit old to be riding a BMX?" And I thought, well, and he said to me, did you always do this? Have you always ridden a BMX? And it took me back to 1982 when I first got on a BMX, which was a Rally Ultra Burner, 1982, Christmas 1982. And it took me back to 1982. But then I went on to share about my Christian testimony, which happened on the 7th of November 1982. So 6 weeks after I became a Christian, I got my first BMX. That's why I like to tell people there is a connection to what I do with my testimony. And quickly, my testimony, uh, as I shared, we had our RL Osborne on Sunday. I had a brilliant interview with RL, and I got to share my testimony with RL. And what happened with me was that growing up, sort of 14, 15 years of age, I always had a fear of sort of death and what lay after. And it was really a process in the Bible that talks about conviction. I was just feeling really, really burdened inside and frightened, and I went to church. It's important for people to realize that, I went to church. I had no interest in church or God or Jesus Christ or any of these things. It's important that people know that that's the type of person I was, because a lot of people watching might be the same, have no interest in God. But what happened was, it got really bad for me, that I had a few dreams about death and stuff as well, and it really just frightened me. And I remember that on the 7th of November 1982, just feeling really, really burdened and frightened. I went to my church as normal. My mum sort of made me and my brother go to church. We didn't really want to be there. We always heard motorbikes in the other fields, and we thought we would rather be in the fields and the motorbikes and sitting in church listening to a guy talking about God. But that morning, I didn't hear the motorbikes. My mind was just so, I need something to help me. I was feeling really bad inside. And basically what happened was, I went home. I remember seeing a little card, a decision card about becoming a Christian. It was the steps to becoming a Christian, and it talked about God sending His Son to die and to take my place and pay the price for my sins. And if I put my trust in Him and give my life over to Him, He would help me. And on the 7th of November 1982, now I wasn't one that ever prayed, but on that day, that Sunday morning, I got onto my knees in my back bedroom, never forget it. And it was 1:30 on the 7th of November 1982. And I cried out to God, and sincerely from my heart. And I just asked God to help me. I asked the Lord Jesus Christ to come into my life and to help me and to take away this feeling, this fear I had, and the fear it was just the pain I was having. It was like, I class it like a pain. And basically, I cried out to God sincerely. And something, that prayer, God answered that prayer, and right there and then He took all those feelings away from me, and right there and then I knew God was real, and He came into my life, and things were different then. I started to open up the Bible and started to understand what I was reading. So God had a plan, a purpose for my life. Little did I know, many, many years later, God would call me to prison ministry. Prison ministry, something that people who I didn't really like in prison, God called me to prison ministry. I'd done 16 years of prison ministry. As again, you'd be able to watch a documentary on YouTube, and 16 years of seeing God's power, miracles, signs and wonders, seeing God do amazing things. 3 books printed, published as well. We filmed the documentary, and to get a camera into high security prison just doesn't happen. But God opened up that door for me to do the prison ministry. But now, obviously, that season's over, and now I'm involved with the bike ministry. I have a big vision, the BMX ministry, to have my own sort of outreach centre where a youth and that can come in and learn about old school BMX freestyle, and obviously get to hear the gospel. And I think Gavin's been a big part of all that, what I've done. And if you had said to me way back when I was 16 that God was going to use me in 16 years of prison ministry, and then when I'm going to be 47, I'm going to be back on a BMX doing all these tricks and holding the world records and stuff. I wouldn't have believed it. I couldn't have believed it because physically, people telling me I shouldn't be able to do what I'm doing at my age. But God's blessed me, and the sort of things I do. I'm going to show a wee video here. This is the sort of things that I do that sort of the kids get into and they really get interested and see what I'm doing. I'm going to run a wee video just to show a couple of wee videos of me on the bike. And this here is just me. This is my second bike. This is a Harrow Freestyler, a Brian Bryther, and this is the first time I actually went on it. It was me doing front hops, just going around 360, and that was the very first time I'd ridden that bike. Great bike, good freestyle bike, great bike, park bike as well. That's me just doing the trick that everybody knows me for, the front hops. I've got the name's been given to me as the Hop Master. That was given to me by Rick Allison in America. So that's my spare bike. The reason why I have a spare bike is because I do tend to break parts on bikes, so I need to have a backup bike there. And that's actually was a 50th birthday present from my wife. So that's the sort of thing that I would do. And really, if you can imagine seeing me there, that car park you see me in, that's just round the corner from where I live. I have had people come over, stop, talk to me. Guys drive in cars and come up all ages and start to talk to me and ask me, what am I doing? And they realise, a lot of them think I'm a kid from the distance, but when they get up close, they see that I'm actually an adult. Great opportunity, great vehicle for God for me to open up and share. And you know, I wear my logo as well, my T-shirt, so they start to ask me questions about what am I doing and why am I doing it. And you know, I was asked one time when I was doing a demo in a school, one of the parents was there of the kids and said to me, how can you use BMX to share your faith? And I went on to explain that, you know, I use everything that I do in the bike when I'm speaking. I bring the bike into it. Just to give you an example, the verse that I use, which a lot of people will know, is John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him will not perish, but have everlasting life. I use that verse. That's the verse I use in the scriptures. And the reason why, one of my bikes I used to have was a standard 250L, and it had a lifetime guarantee. So I would tell the kids about eternal life, talking about that verse. And parts of my bicycle are called mankind. Again, I would use that in the verse, for God so loved the world, mankind. So I also use broken parts, broken frames, forks. There's in the part of bike I haven't broken. I take the broken parts and then I explain to the kids about sin and about, you know, breaking God's law. And when they're broken, they're separate. The parts are separate, so that sort of separates us from God. And I use all these different tools and to talk to the kids, to share my faith and just to tell them. And a lot of them, it's amazing. A lot of them have felt the way I was feeling. They didn't really know there was an answer to the way they were feeling. But so that's basically what I would do. I would really do speak for 15, 20 minutes, and then maybe I would do a demo for 30 minutes. Most of my demos, I end up doing 100 front hops and 100 back hops. So it's quite demanding on physically on the body. And I have had a lot of people say to me, people who are in the fitness, saying that there's no way you should be able to do that at your age. You know, you don't realize that the damage you're doing to your body. But God gives me the strength. When God gives you a gift or a talent, I believe it's to be used, you know, for him, for his purpose. You know, he gives you for a reason to be used, and I use it always as an outreach tool. I don't have to do that. So we're going to run another wee video. This is a trick. You might have seen me do this before. This is a Spider-Man. The kids love to see this one. Basically, you need good brakes for this. You just onto the pegs round, and then you just need to put both your front and back brake on, then position yourself, get the distance right from the wall, and then just walk up the wall. And actually, you can do press ups as well when you're up there as well. So it's just holding it quite hard. The hardest bit is actually getting back on the bike. This is my church. I would practice in the car park, and again, good solid brakes. That's my Harrow lineage there, I ride, and back onto the bike again. And kids, when you mention you're going to do a Spider-Man, they're all excited and they think, well, what's Spider-Man? And you can see why that's called the Spider-Man. But you know, also we have a Rock Bmx Ministry on YouTube, and if you want to go on to Rock Bmx Ministry on YouTube, you can see previous interviews we've done. We've had Trevor Meyer, the 3 times X Games gold medalist. We had Corey Coffey on, first woman to do a backflip in the BMX. We've had Todd Carter, another old school freestyle legend. We've had also Jeff Botama. Jeff Botama is a legend, you know, BMX, one of the first guys to really be a superstar in the BMX in the 70s and racing. And then obviously RL Osborne we had there on Sunday. Great guy, humble guy, really good guy. And you know, if you have any idea, anybody's any ideas you want to maybe see about getting some people on to do an interview with, we can always try and contact them and let us know what you would like to see. You know, if we just want to try and use the media. The reason why I'm doing the media at the minute is because all of my outreach had stopped because of the COVID. And I know everybody's been really affected by that. So obviously I couldn't go and do outreach. So what I did was I just started to I had a friend, obviously back to Gavin Dowd, Word Out Media. It was Gavin actually. I said, Gavin, what can we do to try and still do the outreach in the ministry? And Gavin suggested the live streams. So basically, it's all down to really Gavin, and God's used Gavin to help us put this all together, because it's not as easy as it looks. You know, we've had a few teething problems and things, but so big shout out to Word Out Media. Anybody ever wants any live streaming done, contact Gavin Dowd, Word Out Media. A great, and we hope to try and do other things as well using the media. Word Out, and it's wordout.co, www.wordout.co.uk. That's wordout.co.uk. And also, you can check us out on Facebook. A lot of people know I'm on Facebook there. I'm also on Instagram, Martin BMX53. You can go on there and watch some of our stuff on there. But anyway, I just thought I would come on and just share. I thought it was good just to come on and share a bit about what we're doing and what we're about. And do like the page and share. And anybody involved in BMX or wanting to get involved in BMX, or send them the links and stuff to them. So I'll just close now, and again, we're looking forward to that. I know who my next guest is going to be, so quite excited about that. It's going to be more of a local theme the next time, but in due course, we'll share more about our next guest on the live stream. And anyway, just. But as I say, it is good we get have the opportunity to do this with social media and stuff. I'm just really new to all this social media, and it's good that we can connect with, especially in the BMX world, with guys that I looked up to, back in the 80s. It's good to be able to connect with them now and be able to share. And mainly, most importantly for me, is to share my testimony in it and the gospel, and that's the main thing. That God gets the glory in everything that I do. So anyway, you enjoy the rest of your day, whoever's watching this, whenever you're watching it, and we'll look forward to seeing you again when we do the next live stream. Okay, God bless. Bye.